Hola Bafetu, welcome back. Welcome to Dibalen Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective. Kaiser Chiefs Football Channel, obviously. We know that PSL is back. Tomorrow, Kaiser Chiefs will play against Golden Arrows. Tomorrow, the 20th of January 2026. But yeah, today we are doing a review of the AFCON final. We all watched AFCON. I think it was a very competitive AFCON. I enjoyed the games. I think everyone enjoyed the games, but also it was AFCON that was full of, the African, talent. So a lot of talent. I mean, if you watch Ivory Coast, there's a player, number 19 there. If you watched Cameroon, Baleba, if you watched different teams, Morocco itself, I mean, even Senegal, those, I think one thing that I can take out from this AFCON was the level of performances and the top talent that we have in Africa. Really, 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 Africa is top talent. Now, when it comes to the final, very, very, very crazy final between Senegal and Morocco. Morocco, the hosts. Very, very crazy ending, very controversial. I think it's one of the most controversial tournaments in world in football history. I don't know others. I'm told, I hear people saying the Maradona hand, the different, I think Korea and Japan, there's been, controversies in world football. But I think this one in the recent history is one of the biggest we've seen. Players walking out just before the game ends, protesting over the decision of the referee. Very, very, very controversial. I couldn't believe my eyes when I was watching that, and I'm like, the coach is calling players. I think he's calling them to the touchline to speak to them. Then I realized, no. The coach is actually telling them to leave the field. And I was like, Hiban, this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. But I could, I did, anticipate that there's going to be a problem. As soon as I saw the goal that was denied of Senegal, I think Hakimi initiates the tug and the touch, and when the jersey number 4 of Senegal responds, Hakimi sort of falls so easily in a very soft way. I think he also slips, and I didn't think that was a foul. I think that was a goal. And I thought that, Senegal has just been denied a goal, and I think this game is going to end in a very controversial way. Especially should Morocco score a goal, and the goal, a questionable goal, is going to be a very, very serious problem, because there's been concerns about the refereeing in this AFCON. And I think Dr. Patrice Motsepe also accepts that the standard is not good enough, and he had made promises that there would be improvements. But throughout the tournament, there's just been controversies. There's just been a lot of yellow cards in an African football, and how you approach the African tournament. AFCON is an African tournament played by Africans in Africa. You can't be judging and giving yellow cards and bookings to players over soft touches and all that. You need to accept that there's going to be a level of physical, competitiveness, because it's the Africans, and there was a lot of players that had yellow cards, a lot of red cards as well. I think Mali had around 3 yellow cards, and when you look at them, you can see that here referees should not have given such bookings and stuff like that. But the level was very, very bad. So from then, I think the Hakimi goal, the foul on Hakimi should not have been just a foul, but it's a very subjective one. Now, there is no intervention from the VAR, and you will think, okay, they trust the on-field decision. Then there's an on-field decision on the penalty on Brahim Diaz. The referee decides, no, let's continue play, and then it's called by VAR. As to why VAR is intervening on this one when they could not even look at the first one, it's seriously questionable. Very questionable. But when you look at it, as soft as it is, the foul on Brahim Diaz is a foul, is a penalty. But if you wanted to balance scales, you look at how soft that touch is. You look at how soft the one you gave, even worse, the one you gave on against Senegal. You balance the scales. You let the game continue, go to extra time. We finish the game without controversy. Now you do that, and then we have that kind of a problem, of a controversy, of a drama. Now, we need to give credit, obviously, to Sadio Mane for providing leadership and calling the players back. Even El Hadji Diouf and the other, there's quite a few members of people from Senegal, or members of the Senegalese, or national team, or those respectable people who really intervened and convinced the players, and together with Sadio Mane convinced the players to come back. But I'm very, very disappointed at the coach. I don't think that should have been the first decision to make. I think that was very, very bad. Call of judgment on his side, Coach Pape Thiaw. And also, I saw when they were lifting the trophy that there is a captain's committee of some sort, which consists of Koulibaly, of Trezeguet and Mendy, and then Sadio Mane. I don't think those captains played their role as leaders in that team. It took Sadio Mane to be the one who intervenes and brings everyone back. And I can tell you now, that was a very, very bad showing for African football. Very terrible showing for African football. The whole world is watching. Everyone is watching. And yes, there are controversies everywhere. But to say you are going to leave the field and abandon the game like that, as if these people are not professionals, they have not been involved in many, many, many games. Too many games these guys have been involved in, where there's been unfavorable decisions taken by referees, unfavorable, calls by linesmen. They play in the top leagues in Europe and across the world. You would assume that Koulibaly, a man of his experience, you would assume that they would, understand the game and know how to respect the very game they are playing. But yeah, it happened, and Mane's reaction, his leadership saved AFCON. But here's the question that I'm asking. So, according to the rules, players left there, like more than 10 players left there. I think there was just 1 or 2 players that were remaining there, maybe more than 9. What are the rules in terms of that? And they left up until the game ended, right? They were outside the field. They went to the changing room. I would have thought that the game should have ended and Senegal would have lost that game, or the game would have been forfeited and Morocco should win. What are the rules? I know that in terms of fairness, in terms of how things occurred there, would be dissatisfied. But the rules of the game, that referee makes those decisions and then fails to make a decision when the entire team walks out and they are in the dressing room and they look like they are forfeiting and boycotting. And then the time runs up until the end of the game. So what should have been, an applicable rule in that instance? Or we just beg people to come back. What if they don't come back? We keep on begging them up until when? I'm not saying this because I'm siding with Morocco, but in terms of the rules of the game. Well, as if that was enough, players go back, and then Brahim Diaz is going to take a penalty kick. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to sleep. After this penalty they score, it's the end of the game. There's a Panenka, and Mendy saves the ball. And I'm remembering that, remember this guy made a similar save against Kun Aguero when he was still a Chelsea goalkeeper. And I'm like, we're going to extra time. And as if the walkout was not enough, Brahim Diaz misses a penalty, last minute penalty, and he misses it in that manner. Very casual, tries something, some nonsensical thing. Last 9 minutes of the game, you don't do that nonsense. You pick a spot, either the goalkeeper saves it or something happens. If he saves it, then other players that are, reacting to the penalty, they may just end up, in contact with the ball and it ends at the back of the net. But you do that, my brah, in that kind of a game, so high of stakes in your country, as a host nation, you do that. Very, very, very disappointing. Extremely disappointing. Extra time, Pap Gay scores the goal. Very nice goal, just number 26. And that guy has been scoring nice goals throughout the tournament. It's a very, very good left and right foot. When it takes a shot, you always, expect that it might be a goal. Throughout the tournament, I've been watching him as very, very good player, quality player of Senegal, and he's been playing each and every game. And the goal, well taken, nice goal. The game ends, and Sadio Mane wins player of the tournament. I think if they had not thought of Sadio Mane, I would have assumed that before Sadio Mane, they would have given that to Diaz if Morocco won. Or it would have still been a debatable thing if the game ended without that controversy. So I feel the debate ended at the moment when Sadio Mane intervened and saved the entire tournament. I mean, there was no other one to give, any other deserving player to give player of the tournament after that. It was his for the taking and well deserved. Brahim Diaz collects a golden boot. Bono collects the golden glove. And Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, I think is their second AFCON. I think also Idrissa Gana Gueye. I think not just this, the intervention now or this tournament. I think Sadio Mane is up there as one of the best African footballers we've ever had now. It's up there in the conversation. I don't think there's doubt about it. And if there were doubts, I think winning this tournament outside the controversy, really, shuts down that kind of conversation. He is one of the best, and congratulations to Senegal. We saw one of the best talents. I mean, these players I was watching, I enjoyed the games in AFCON. But if there's anything that I didn't enjoy, and this is also another issue that I want to raise, people are saying this is one of the best AFCON tournaments to be organized. I think not. I don't rate it. I mean, based on the level of officiating that we experienced in this tournament, throughout this tournament was very, very poor. The stadiums are good, obviously, and we're told players are sleeping in 5-star hotels and all that. But Hugo Bross raised the concern about the placement between where they sleep and the training and the distance in between. And I think it's not only Hugo Bross. I think also the coach of Senegal raised it. There were a lot of concerns that were raised about this tournament outside the field, off the field, in terms of also the treatment. Look at how they were treating the keepers, how they were treating, how the Moroccans treated the Nigerian keeper, who Stanley Nwabali, when they were playing against Egypt, I think, how they were treated, how they were taking the towers, and they also did the same with Mendy. They were harassing the keeper, harassing, people outside. I mean, the ball boys, the officials in the stadium. A lot of bad behavior from Morocco. For them to be given the award for FIFA Fair Play in this tournament, I don't think they deserve it. I don't think they really played fair. They are a very good team. I think also in terms of the sport, the nation itself is a very good nation, very powerful nation in terms of the sport, because their ladies team is doing well, the unders are doing well, and their players also are doing well. I mean, the team is very well organized, players in Europe as well. But their behavior stinks. It's very, very, very bad. Extremely bad. The attitude is very, very bad. So based on that, I don't think it was the best tournament. Also, the leadership of KEF, I don't know. I was not happy with the leadership of KEF. Well organized, a lot of things. I mean, there was controversy. If you remember, there was a controversy of Samuel Eto'o was complaining when his team was, his national team was he felt it's not treated fairly, and they are robbed, and then there is a suspension on him. There was a lot of things that were happening there that are not of a good showing for African football. And Morocco's AFCON, I don't think is one of the best we have ever had, or I don't think it's the best we've ever had. I don't believe so. Maybe money, in terms of revenue, I don't know. But all in all, yeah, we're told also attendance in terms of fans, so much number of fans. But the rest, I mean, no. I mean, when Senegal team arrived in at the stadium for the game, for the final game, they had no security in Rabat. There was no security. There was a lot of unsafe issues of. There was a lot of issues of safety around their arrival into the stadium and everything. And it looks like there was no proper organization around that. And I mean, could we had an issue, one of the players, and would be not only be speaking about that, this controversy would have had another controversy. And I don't think we had a best tournament in terms of that level. But in terms of performances on the field, really African players can give a proper showing. And yeah, we're back to local now. Local is lekker. Asibona nini before the Kaizer Chiefs game, and even after the Kaizer Chiefs game. That is from me, Makosi for life.